Good afternoon, fans. Welcome to the LB Gym here in Fredericton. I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching ACAA TV and Tommy's TV on YouTube. All sport powered by Sports Canada TV. Sunday afternoon, ACAA basketball. Over to the men's action for this matchup. The visiting Crandall Chargers will be in the road whites, and the host St. Thomas Tommies in the home green and gold. Tommies come in 2-0 atop the conference. Along with UNB, SJ is also 2-0 entering today. SJ playing at the 2 o'clock start right about now in Mount A. Crandall 1-1. Crandall beat Holland College 199 at home. Lost yesterday to Mount Allison. That game yesterday at Mount A was 78-73. It was really closer than that. It was a really weirdly disjointed game. There was a lot of breaks in the action to wipe up the floor. Had a little humidity condition in the gym yesterday, I guess, at Mount A. It was kind of disjointed to watch it, but it was really a tight one. Mount Allison just in front, and Crandall had an opportunity with seconds remaining to tie with a three and missed, and then gave up a couple free throws at the end of it. It was Momberket and Monroe making free throws at the end of the game for Mount A. Ryan Norris finished with 24. Outstanding game for Norris. Simba Bawara had 18 for Mount Allison. Leading Crandall with 14 was Caleb Rennie. Colby McIntosh had 13 as well. Tommies, they are blistering the pace on the offensive end. 111.5 points a game through their first in the conference. Leading the conference in field goal percentage and three-point percentage are the Tommies. Tommies last time out 115-89 over UKC. And in that contest, Marcus Wilson had 30 points. Jevin Eddy had 18. Evan Villain 15. And it was Heath Taylor with 15. And Kevin Taylor with 23. Starters being introduced. And these are for the Chargers. Number 2 is Dave Hutton, second-year guard out of Montreal. 7, Ethan Culberson, 6-foot guard out of Heartland. 10 is Caleb Rennie, transfer from UKC out of Ajax, Ontario, in his 4th year, 6'4". 13, Colby McIntosh, 6'5" out of Florenceville, New Brunswick. And last year's Conference Rookie of the Year, number 15, Luca Del Bosco, second-year center out of Montreal at 6'5". Starters for the Tommies. Number 3 is Vince Littleton. Littleton, 6-foot guard out of Markham, Ontario. 5, Marcus Wilson. One of 2 Tommies averaging 20 points per game. Thus far, Wilson, second year out of Miramichi, New Brunswick. Evan Villain out of Miramichi and Miramichi Valley, 5th-year wing. Wears number 9, CJ Hansen out of Manchester, England. Wears number 10. And Jevin Eddy out of Ajax, Ontario. By UNB St. Mary's Secondary and Oak Hill Academy. 6'5" Eddy wears number 21. It'll be Villain and Del Bosco. Chargers control on the tip win from the athletic Del Bosco. There is Rennie for Del Bosco. Culberson nowhere to go, finds Rennie. Rennie backs up. Rennie's going to have his ball in his hands a lot today. And Rennie blocked from three-point land. Blaine down hard on that one. Wilson rises from the elbow, doesn't drop. Del Bosco attacks glass for the first board. And now Del Bosco dribbles across half. He's going to take Eddy to the rim, can't score. Whistle after the miss. Going to go on Eddie with a push on Del Bosco. Del Bosco, a couple extra minutes here to right himself. Your officials for this contest: Mr. Joel Everett, Dave Gallagher, and Matt Whipple. They are the team in gray charged with making sure all goes according to Hoyle and the official rules of basketball. Wilson uses the screen. Back for Villain. Extra pass for Hansen. Hansen drives off glass, 2 points. Nice finish, CJ Hansen. Right at Luca Del Bosco. Rennie to the lane, blocked again by Villain. Corner kick for Hansen, and Hansen had the ball go off his hand, off the sideline. That's out of play. Inbounded for Rennie. Villain will take on that challenge. Hutton back for Rennie. Tommy straight man here. Eddie. Good defense on Del Bosco, who finds Culberson. Culberson can't get it to go, and another after the shot whistle. And it's a foul on Hansen. That's going to send Ethan Culberson to the line. Culberson averaging 13 points per game in the early going. And his first trips to the free throw line this season, good on the first. And the second. Littleton three, no good. Quick trigger that time from Vince. Del Bosco, too much mustard on that one for Hutton. It's right through the hands of Hutton and lodged in behind the volleyball official podium. Ball retrieved, inbounded for Wilson. Wilson for Eddie. Eddie for Villain. Villain gets the block on McIntosh. And McIntosh, a little sideways glance at the official. Didn't enjoy the call. Littleton, three. Rebound Rennie. Hansen's going to D up Rennie. Rennie too strong. And now Hansen at the other end. Reverse doesn't go, punched out by Villain. Love the hustle of Hansen there to be at both ends of the court. Rennie still in the backcourt by the time Hansen had gotten to the rim. Culberson met by Villain. Villain makes that shot hard, but Ethan Culberson drops it through for two. 5-2 Crandall. Wilson, Littleton. Eddie is going to dribble his way to the bucket. Calm finish off the glass for Jevin Eddie. His first two of the contest. Knocked away by Littleton into the hands of Eddie. Out for Littleton, pull up three. Doesn't drop, but it's Hansen on the inside for the putback. CJ Hansen will have the quickness on any of these Crandall wings. Hutton gets by Littleton. Speaking of quickness. Wilson might have got away with the travel. Eddie works for the board inside. Eddie powers up through. Foul on Marcus Wilson on the rebound action, and comes some subs for the Tommies. Gimby, Lands, and Schulten. In for Littleton, Eddie, and Hansen. So Wilson and Villain stay for Stu. And I think we had some subs as well. 8 is Jaden Johnson. Technical foul there on Caleb Rennie. Marcus Wilson will shoot the free throw. Rennie's been looking for some calls on some of those drives and not getting them. Free throw ties us at 7, and it'll be Tommy's ball. Inbounding here in their backcourt. So Jaden Johnson, Jaden Lucas both in. That is Jaden Lucas with the rebound there. Rennie looking to go to work, finds Hutton far side. And Hutton makes a 3. The lane now against Hutton down low, rises. Put that one up. Del Bosco on the board. And Del Bosco kick for Johnson. Jaden Johnson with the score. Johnson, second year forward out of Moncton. 12-7 Chargers. Marcus Wilson, the hoop and the harm. Foul's going to go on Jaden Lucas. And here comes Charles McKenna, number 4, in for Luca Del Bosco. McKenna, 6', 6" center out of Halifax in third year. Tommy's down 2, Rennie. And the Chargers to the front court. Hutton guarded by Schulten. Hutton quick feet travel on the step back. I think only James Harden gets that one. Foul on the floor. This is going to be another foul on Jaden Lucas. Lucas out of Lucasville, New Brunswick. Mounted for Villain. Villain sporting the pink kicks here today on Think Pink Day at the LB Gym in support of Tommy's Hospital, Chalmers Hospital Foundation. See some of the pink tape and pink socks as well for Team Tommy here today. Schulten out of the pack. Rennie a little slow to get up after that play and running a little gingerly back up the floor that time. Villain stops, pops, rim. Rebound ripped by McKenna. Pardon me, by Colby McIntosh. There's McKenna up top. Back for Hutton. Hutton, deep three. Doesn't drop. Villain with the tip for Wilson. Wilson, little spin move. Now he waits for teammates. Has Gimby. Gimby can't get it to go off the glass. McIntosh against Wilson. Wilson rises. Back rim, no good. Rennie way on the outside, this time into Villain again. And again, no call. Again, Rennie down on the court. Tip by Villain doesn't go. Chased down by Lands, back for Wilson. Wilson tries a long three, and that's nothing but nylon. Sub waiting Harper Kopp for the Chargers. Wearing number 12. Tommy's up 15-14. Hutton fouled on the way to the bucket. Fourth team foul. And goes on number 13 for STU. Comes Del Bosco back into the game. Foul went on Gimby of the Tommies. I'll finish that thought off before starting another one. Del Bosco, triple goes through. Tommies, Littleton, Eddie back in with Hansen out of that last stoppage. Hansen makes a three. Good start to the contest for CJ Hansen. Seems to be settling in here with the Tommies, finding his way. That's going to be a back over on Bryson Clark. Clark, second year out of Halifax. Comes Culberson back in. And Jaden Johnson to the bench. Littleton guarded by Clark. Eddie screen rolls. Eddie against Del Bosco setting up low post. Eddie double team down coming from the Chargers. And stepped on the end line before the shot clock violation. Good quick double from Crandall. Oh no, foul called. Oh, the point on to the floor was that it was a foul on the floor, is what that was about. Eddie to the line. The foul is on Culberson, number 7. Just have to watch the officials through the whole play. And Eddie gets the second one to bounce through. 20-17 Tommies. Del Bosco on the catch and dribble on the outside. Del Bosco against Hansen. Look at Del Bosco. Turned that into an adventure on the way to the rim. Got a little tougher than he thought, I think. Schulten for Littleton, punched away by Culberson. This will be the second on Culberson. Gets a sub off the bench quickly for Coach McKillop. Comes Jack Way. Way, second year guard out of Quispamsis and KV. Played for current Seawolves coach. Littleton. Good, and the Tommies lead up to 5 now. Put on a little push here. And Tommies with full court pressure. Taken away, and there's a quick score by Stu. Pressure pays off. 4 Tommies up here on the ball. Now numbers for Crandall the other way. Del Bosco calling for the lob. And that pass from Kopp doesn't connect. Tommies working around quickly. Outside, the Riverlands scores 3. Tommies lead up to 10. Big push for Stu. Right at the end of the quarter with the buzzer beater. Chargers 17.6 of 15, 40% from the field, 2 of 5, also 40% from the on the arc, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. The Tommies 27 points on 9 of 22, so 7 more shots for Stu. That's 41%. 3 of 7, that's 43% beyond the arc, and 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Turnovers 4-2 with the Chargers having 2 more. Tommies 9 points off those turnovers. Great conversion rate by Stu. Tommies out rebounding the Chargers 11-8, including 4 on the offensive boards. Assists are 6-3 Tommies. Individual stats. Crandall led by Hutton with 5. Culberson, Del Bosco 4 each. Jaden Johnson, Colby McIntosh each with 2. 2 rebounds for Del Bosco, 3 for McIntosh. 2 assists for Rennie. And 2 fouls for Culberson and Jaden Lucas. Tommies, Marcus Wilson has 7. CJ Hansen has 7. Lands has 5. Eddie has 4. Littleton 2. And Schulten 2. 2 rebounds each, Wilson, Hansen, Eddie, and Littleton. 2 assists for Hansen. And no Tommy more than 1 foul. Tommy Ball, a chance to build on that 10-point lead here to start Q2. Littleton, Zach Dool, CJ Hansen, Riverlands, and Jevin Eddy. There's a takeaway and score by the Chargers, Colby McIntosh. McIntosh, Way, Hutton, Bryson Clark, and Luca Del Bosco. Lands misses the 3, rebound Del Bosco. Del Bosco misses a 3, rebound. Off to the Tommies. Hansen slides through a seam right to the bucket. Vince with a knockaway on Bryson Clark. Now Hansen down on the floor. Out of bounds, last touch by the Chargers. And Bryson Clark palms up, looking for answers on that one. Comes Caleb Rennie back in for the Chargers. Inbounded for Villain. Villain rises from the free throw line. That one doesn't drop. It's going to be a rebounding foul on Jevin Eddy. Gonna be Eddie's second. Ready, knocked away by Eddie. Down on the floor is Littleton. Wilson ahead for Eddie. Eddie has Hansen. Hansen draws a foul. Will go to the lines. Could be on Del Bosco. It is on Del Bosco. Cam Evans in for Jevin Eddie. Eddie will take a break here with those 2 fouls. Hansen, great start to the contest for STU. Good on the first. First one was so yummy, he goes back for seconds. (31-19) Tommies. Del Bosco. Tommy's knocked that away. Evans for Hansen. Hansen tracks it. Ahead Littleton. Littleton jab, drive, pass. Duel out of the corner. 3-pointer rims off into Del Bosco's hands. Del Bosco push off there with the free arm. Oh, and Littleton. He's going to get teed up. That's going to be absolutely uncalled for there from Littleton. Who didn't like to play, but can't drift the ball right into one of the opposing players. Unfortunately for me, part of that was behind the backboard and the post here that I deal with in that corner. Original foul is on Del Bosco. Del Bosco's second. And we're only going to give a technical there to Littleton. And Coach Hickey saying, no, that's got to be 1-on-1. One I wish I had a better view on, I could tell you more about, but that side backboard takes away almost all of that play from my view. Explanation here from referee Dave Gallagher to Todd McKillop. Coach McKillop seemed to accept that. One shot here for Rennie. Rennie makes it. And I believe it will now be green ball. I think that's the original foul was on Crandall. Wilson back for Hansen. Hansen to the rim. Can't get that one to go. Rebound ripped away that time by Jaden Johnson. Johnson for Rennie. Rennie way off the mark on the three. Ahead for Hansen. Hansen having what I would say the best game as a Tommy here in the early going of this one. We'll draw the foul on that one as McIntosh got the tea kettle over other parts of the anatomy on the way down that time. Jack Way off the mark on three. Rebound Evan Villain. Villain dribbles against McIntosh. Kicks to Hansen. Evans duel. Wilson in for Villain. Back for Wilson. Wilson can't get it to go, and his numbers the other way for Crandall. Giveaway by McIntosh. A hit for Wilson. Wilson's going to try it again inside. That time he scores 2 points. Here is Rennie. Tommy's plus 15. Takeaway by Wilson. Showtime again. Oh, just easy lay-in that time by Hansen. What a start here for CJ Hansen. Timeout Chargers. The Tommy's plus 17. Did have a chance to talk to both coaches before the game. No real news on the Tommy side. Looking for a bit better defense, and that really comes from effort and commitment, in the words of Coach Hickey. And as I was chatting with Coach McKillop, Coach Hickey came over and joined that chat as well, and really the word that I used with Coach McKillop before Coach Hickey arrived was parity in the league, and said, yeah, we always seem to say that, but this year maybe more than ever thinks there's going to be a lot of close games. Chargers have already been in a couple close ones with Holland and with Mount A. They're down 17 here, but they do have the firepower to come back. Got not much from scoring-wise out of Rennie in this one. And a little volatility in this one as well. Technical for Littleton on the Tommy side. Always some interesting action happening here in the ACAA. So much going on in every play. Tommy's pressure out of the timeout, 6:32 to play. Rennie for McKenna. Culberson. Hutton. Up top, McIntosh. Against Evans. Tommy's made that tough. And good work by Villain to send that out of bounds off Charles McKenna. I wouldn't be shocked here if Wilson went hunting a three-pointer on this trip. And I think it might have been for Lands in the far corner, for Duel in the far corner. And Duel would have needed a bucket truck to catch that pass. That is Lands coming in along with Schulten. Evans and Duel to the bench. Inbounded for Hutton. Hansen will take that challenge on. Wilson with the steal on the pass. Wilson with a two-hand slam. Rennie, quick back the other way for McKenna. McKenna thought he had the offensive board, but it just somehow ends up with Riverlands, the Tommies. Inside quickly, Villain with a quick finish. Dandy dish from Marcus Wilson. Tommies push the lead to 21 with that score. Hutton rises from the elbow, fouled by Wilson. Wilson ended up right into Hutton's landing area. Hutton to the line. 5 points, 3.5 boards, 3 assists per game. 1 of 2 on the season coming in today from the stripe. There's a miss on the first. Teams fill in the free throw lineup and make on the second. Culberson with a takeaway from Wilson. Culberson, strong take, nice finish off the window. Mullane, tough catch. Into traffic. And finishes inside. Wilson looking for the ball in the corner that time. Hutton does well to keep the balance. Schulten is right there on the spin move. Lands now out on the switch. There's Rennie guarded by Lands. Rennie inside, knocked away again from Caleb Rennie. Hansen high step and loses the ball on the dribble. Hansen nearly another pick off. McIntosh against Schulten, can't get that score to go. That's going to be out of bounds off McKenna on the rebound. Here comes Quinn DeVries for Stu, in for CJ Hansen. Seen DeVries a lot. Not as a big for the Tommies. Well, he is a big at 6'5". Is DeVries. We've seen him fronting the press and out high a lot for Stu, using his speed and athleticism to wreak havoc early in the season. Pick up Rennie here, another one of the different looks. And there's Villain, another rejection. That one on McKenna. Schulten for Lands in the corner. Extra pass, and another extra pass. Wilson will reset. Tommy's had a couple opportunity there for shots. Caleb Schulten just loses the handle. Here comes Gimby in for Evan Villain. Another timeout, 3:15 to go first half, taken by the Chargers. And it is 43-23. Chargers coaching staff, Todd McKillop, Alex Robichaux, regroup before entering the huddle. I think this is a defensive discussion here, more than offensive. Chargers this year down, well, a few players have graduated. Devon Glenn, one of my all-time favorite Chargers. The mayor, he has moved on, as has Daniel Hawks. I think they really miss Hawks' athleticism. And Mark Hoffer. Hoffer, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists last season for the Chargers. You look around the ACAA last year and you think, who's a player kind of like Mark Hoffer? Well, you scratch around a little bit and you turn up a Caleb Rennie. 17 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. They're pretty close numbers to Hoffer's, but Hoffer's much more efficient from a shooting perspective, shooting 46% overall, 40 beyond the arc, 87 from the line. Rennie, 41 overall, 27 beyond the arc, and 77 from the line last season. So Rennie, most dangerous when he's on the drive. You're going to give Rennie a shot. It's the deep one. Lands, acrobatic. A good job replacing some of those graduating players by the Chargers. And of course, turnover an issue every season, as it should be in the league. You want players that are moving on and graduating. Rebound Wilson. Ahead for Gimby. Schulten goes to help. Schulten. Pass for Lands. That three is good from River Lands. Rossay Redhawk pushes the lead to 25. Coach Hickey have to be happy with the defense thus far, holding Crandall to 23 through 18 minutes of play. Take there and foul. With Harper Kopp. Tommy's 5 team fouls now, 2 for the Chargers in this quarter. It has been a decidedly Tommy's quarter. 21-6 this quarter for STU. That one goes through. 1 out of 2 from the line, lead to 24. Tommy's exactly doubling up the Chargers. That's deflected. Inbounded for DeVries, back for Duel. There's DeVries down low. Met by the Chargers. DeVries and Rennie, a collision. And Rennie will go to the line to shoot. Rennie on the board with his second point of the contest, both from the free throw line. 0 for 6 from the field thus far is Rennie. All 3 points on his afternoon so far from the stripe. Duel tries a 3. That one's off the back heel. Hutton is out of bounds. Good work by Gimby. Not give Hutton anywhere to go. 14 on the shot clock. Tommy will inbound. Lands fouled. Will be Hutton or Kopp. It is Hutton. Hutton's first. Schulten, long inbound for Lands. Back for Schulten. Tommy ball. Shot clock did reset there, so they're calling that a takeaway. Timeout, Tommy's 1:10 to go. Coach Hickey wants to talk this one over. One other game going on today, SJ at Mount A. I'll check that score at the half. See how that one is going. Outstanding action, weekend of action. I watched 5 out of the 6 games yesterday that were played in the men's and women's. One yet left to watch from yesterday's action. Mount A women earlier in the day taking down SJ at home. Next weekend, Saturday the 15th, UKC at Crandall. STU at Mount A, Holland at UNBSJ. And Sunday, Mount Allison at UKC. Tommies after this one aren't back home until December the 6th. Almost a month between home games for the Tommies. We'll be back to volleyball action next weekend here on Tommy's TV's Court Sports. Go Tommys.ca for all your Tommy's info, and ACAA.ca for all your league score schedule, stats, standings, even some stories there as well. At 4 or 5 S's. Rennie looks to pass inside, and losing that out of bounds are the Chargers and Kopp. Littleton's back in for STU, final minute here. Had that technical earlier. Inside DeVries, down low Duel, with a cutting Gimby. Gimby can't finish in traffic, but Duel collects the rebound. And out of bounds off of the Tommies over to the Chargers. 35.1 to go in the quarter. Opportunity here for the Chargers to get it under 20. That would be big mentally, I think, for the Chargers. Rising up is Culberson, back rim. And same for the Tommies. They can put more distance between themselves here with the final shot of the half. See if they go Hunt a 3 to make it a 25-point lead. Littleton from way deep doesn't get that one to go. Gimby can't get the rebound. 1.8 seconds left. I think Coach Hickey's saying, hey, we don't need to be shooting from the volleyball attack line. But yeah, we got lots of range, and I don't mind taking the 3. So that one that deep. Rennie's shot no good at the buzzer. Chargers down 22 to the host Tommies, 48-26. One back in about 13 and a half, 14 minutes. I'll give you a rundown of the stats from the first half. Highly entertaining first half it was. Tommies plus 22 on Crandall. Hi fans, welcome back to the LB Gym here in Fredericton. I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching ACAA men's basketball here on a Sunday afternoon. Fine day here in the capital city. Pleased to have you along for the broadcast wherever you're watching from. Host St. Thomas Tommies and the visiting Crandall Chargers. Tommies took the first quarter 27-17 and the second quarter 21-9. That's a 48-26 total in favor of STU. The Chargers 26 points on 8 of 28 shooting. That's 29%, 2 of 10 beyond the arc, 20%, 8 of 11 from the line, that's 73. The Tommies 48 points on 18 of 42 for 43%, 4 of 14 beyond the arc, and 8 of 8 from the line. Those shooting percentages from the field and from three-point land off the Tommies' blistering pace to start the season. 12 turnovers to 7, with the Chargers having 5 more. Tommies 17 points off turnovers. Great conversion ratio there to the Chargers 6. Rebounds +2 for the Tommies, 19-17. Assists 10-3 in favor of STU. Blocks 4-1 in favor of STU. Fouls 8-3 in favor. Steals 8-3 in favor of STU. Fouls, the Tommies have 1 more at 9-8. Bench points, the Tommies 12-3. Second chance points, the Tommies 5-4. Points in the paint, the Tommies 24-8. Just about everything coming up Tommies in that first half. Individual stat: Dave Hutton 6, Ethan Culberson 6 for Crandall. McIntosh, Del Bosco 4 each. Rennie with 3, all coming on free throws. He's 0 for 7 from the field. Jaden Johnson 2. Harper Kopp with 1. 5 rebounds McIntosh, 4 Del Bosco. 2 assists Rennie. And 2 fouls Culberson and Del Bosco, along with Jaden Lucas. The Tommies, CJ Hansen has 15, his best game as a Tommy so far. Marcus Wilson 11, Riverlands 10. Villain 4, Eddie 4, Littleton and Schulten 2 each. 3 rebounds Lands, Littleton, Schulten, and Wilson. 2 assists Lands, Hansen, and 2 fouls Hansen, Wilson, and Eddie are in play here. Middleton on the miss, Hansen with the putback. Tommies draw the first points of the second half. Another game going on today. It is 5th nationally ranked UNBSJ. They're up 10 at halftime over Mount A. Offensive foul on Rennie. So a long way to go in both games, but if Tommies and Seawolves both able to hang on, they'd both go to 3-0. The Tommies, the only other team in the ACAA in the national rankings. First week they're out this year. The Tommies come in at 13th, led overall by Humber. Number 2 in the nation is Sate. Sate with a New Brunswick connection in coach Matt Daly. Former UNB player coach is Daly. And he's had coaching success in multiple stops. Eddie with a miss on that take. Rebound Del Bosco. Del Bosco coast to coast. And the fancy finish for 2 points. Eddie on the inside. Down low for Villain. That's got to be a 3 in the key on somebody there. Instead, it just goes as a miss. Running one-hander made by Culberson. Hutton, Culberson, McIntosh, Rennie, and Del Bosco for Crandall. The Tommies, Littleton, Villain, Hansen, Eddie, and Wilson. Wilson for Villain. Zip pass for Littleton. Makes the fade away. Rennie sets up. Long hold that time for Rennie, waiting for the offense to develop. Rennie, the outside jumper, can't go, and Rennie visibly frustrated with his game here this afternoon. Littleton inside. Tommies wanted a foul on Rennie, and instead they get the touchdown pass that's too tough and have the ball back that way. It is Think Pink Day here at the Tommies. Support of the Chalmers Hospital Foundation. No rim from Wilson into the hands of the Chargers. Del Bosco. Second attempt. Oh, rebound instead to Eddie. I thought Del Bosco was going to come down with that. Eddie's going to dribble. Eddie for Villain. Villain tied up. Ends up in the hands of Wilson. Wilson looking at, Villain looking to whip it through for Littleton. Hutton for three is good. Timeout Tommies. You really see that coming, that Coach Hickey not happy with the way the Tommies have started this half. Not super crisp. Seven 7-4 start to the quarter for Crandall. Good start for Crandall. They were held to 9 in all of the second quarter. And already here through 3 minutes have 7 up in this quarter. So he's got a little more offensive pop. Sometimes they just come to me and I can't resist. I know they're bad when I say them, but you know, just have to get it out there. Tommy's out of the timeout. And up 19, net pass. Deflected on the way through into the hands of Villain. Villain can't get it to go. Del Bosco on the rebound. Del Bosco that time jams on the brakes, finds Culberson. Jaden Lucas with a triple. Zone from the Chargers here. That's a make out of the corner for 3. And that's going to be Hansen. We're going to shoot 1. Big bucket for the Tommies. Best scoring game by far for Hansen in the early part of the season for the Tommies. Del Bosco again stopped. Wilson on a deflection, and that one, thought Culberson was on the sideline there. Missed by the official. Rennie can't get that to go. Eddie into traffic, knocked away. We're going to stay Tommy's ball. Lands, Schulten, and Gimby in. Hansen, Littleton, and Eddie out for the Tommies. So Wilson and Villain stay. Little 4-flat set here off the baseline inbounds. Rennie with the catch for Villain. Villain bounce pass picked off. And that is Jaden Johnson in. That wasn't Rennie on the last play. It was Johnson. Riverlands with a make from distance. Tommies respond after a little Chargers push. A couple of makes from distance will do that for you. Jaden Johnson, nowhere to go. Outside for Jaden Lucas. Wilson, no tip on that pass. Culberson can't believe it. Comes Jack Way. Back in to be for Dave Hutton. Ahead for Lands. Lands has a seam. Back Schulten sets for a three. Nice catch and shoot, Caleb Schulten. A 25-point lead now for the Tommies. Somehow that math suddenly got hard in my head as I started to speak. Foul on Villain. His first. And Tommy first of the quarter. Chargers have two. 4:47 to go in the third frame. Del Bosco. Double team coming. Pass to the shooter in the corner. Shot is missed. Rebound tipped to right round, controlled by Johnson. Villain gets out the Windex, wipes the board that time. Gimby, pass for Wilson. Jack Gimby, offensive glass, back for Wilson. Wilson attacks, can't score, but he'll go to the line to shoot two. Foul on Jaden Lucas, number 11. Wilson a make from the line. Wilson 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists coming into this one. 87.5% from the line coming in today through only 2 games. Evan Villain, the other Tommy, averaging 20 coming into today. Of course, it is way early in the season. Neither of those 20s put them in the top 5 in the conference. Chargers respond with a score. Villain fouled. Will be Del Bosco or Johnson. It is Johnson. So Del Bosco says, I don't know how that's a foul. Well, it wasn't a foul on Luca. Sends Villain to the line. Villain averaging 20.7 rebounds, 2.5 assists. 71% from the field and 71% from the free throw line coming into today. Of course, all those numbers change on a game-to-game basis. Oh, Villain. Body checked by Jack Way after the Tommies had to steal. And Villain back to the line as that's the 5th team foul on Crandall. Miss on the first for Evan. Good on the second. Johnson ahead for Way. Way directs traffic, now picks up the dribble, found Lucas. Lucas looking for help. The ball deflected by the Tommies into the hands of Riverlands. Lands for Villain, has Schulten in the corner. Looking in that direction, instead tries to go up Off the loose ball, and no dice as Johnson clears it away. Nice drive by Way, but rejected by Villain. Evan Villain, 3 or 4 clear blocks in today's game. Lands uses the body on Johnson. Now Villain on the inside. Del Bosco on the board, the Tommies. Leaving some there in tight. Villain skies for that one, can't get a piece. I think we're going to have a block on Riverlands. Del Bosco to the line with a make. I thought both Del Bosco and Villain were in consideration for All-Stars last year. No room on either the first or second team for either of them. Just such a deep and talented crew at the top of this conference last season. And this season they'll have opportunities again this year to earn their space there. Caleb Rennie was a second-team All-Star, UKC last year. Jevin Eddy off glass, doesn't go. He gets a rebound and the putback does. 1 for 2 with an offensive board for Eddy on that trip. Tommies push the lead to 28. And Coach Hickey has to be pretty okay with the defense here, only giving up 40 points. Tough game here for Crandall coming in on the back-to-back with the Tommies at home sitting waiting. Feet up by the fireplace yesterday watching the Chargers play on the road. Eddy for Gimby back up top. Wilson. Down low, Eddy. He's going to go to work and score 2 more points. Jevin Eddy, ever efficient on the inside. Lead all the way to 30. Tommy's got a long way to go if they're going to get to their 111.5 point average. Wilson with a steal. And another finish for Wilson as he lays that in. Tommy's won on the road at Mount A next weekend. Littleton and Hanson in for Wilson and Gimby. And Rennie to the line again. I think his only point to the contest thus far from the line. Is not what you expect when you have Caleb Rennie in the contest. Yeah, Rennie 0 for 9 from the field, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds for Rennie and 2 assists. Rennie remains perfect from the stripe. Checking back in is Harper Kopp. In for Jack Way. Pretty big lineup here for Crandall. Like a 2-3 zone, some version thereof. Hanson, 3. Give Hanson 20. Rennie draws a foul that time to go back to the line again. This is going to be on Littleton. Tommy's 4th team foul. One called on the floor. There's Rennie with a make from outside, his first field goal. Coach McKillop was wondering why we aren't shooting free throws on that Rennie drive. But he'll take the 3 instead of the 2 free throws. The lead is 30 for the Tommies. Pass too strong, but it ends up in the hands of a Tommy anyway as River lands. Scores. Back outside, Rennie tries another three. That one, front rim. As I said earlier, you're going to want him shooting from the outside, not going to the tin. That one knocked away from Littleton. Littleton tries to slap it back. Numbers for the Chargers, and they can't convert on the first or second attempt. River lands with a board ahead for Littleton. Tommies have numbers. Hansen, quick pass. Hansen running into some friendly traffic there with Jevin Eddy. Time's hard for those sports cars getting around those transport trucks. Hansen, second one doesn't go. Chargers try a heave at the buzzer that's no good. 78-45. Tommies, that quarter 30-19 over the Chargers, so add another 11 onto the lead. The Chargers 47 points, 14 of 46. That is 30% shooting. 5 of 18 beyond the arc, that's 28%. 12 of 15 from the free throw line, that's 80. The Tommies 78 points, 28 of 63 for 44%. 8 of 21 beyond the arc for 38%. 14 of 17 for 42% from the free throw line. Turnovers, Chargers 17, Tommies 10. Tommies 23 points to 9 off the turnovers. Rebounds +6 for STU. Offensive rebounds +6 for STU. Assists +10 for STU, 17-7. Blocks 5-1 in favor of STU. Steals 11-6 in favor of STU. Bench points 20-8 in favor of STU. Points in the paint 34-14 in favor of STU. Trying to get the point there. Tommies up 33 here going into the fourth quarter. Chargers led by Hutton with 9, Culberson 8, Rennie 8, Del Bosco 8. Little late push from Rennie, get his first field goal. 1 of 11 from the field from Rennie. I'm only talking about it because it's notable, because he is coming into this one averaging 17 and a half a game, sitting on 8 points going into the fourth. Tommies led by Hansen with 24, Wilson with 15, and Lands with 15. There is Hansen, that time pass is picked off. Tommies start Eddy, Littleton, Dual, Hansen, and Evans to start the fourth. Del Bosco back outside for Kopp. Kopp can't get it to go, and Cam Evans gets out the fork to stick that rebound. Del Bosco, Kopp, Hutton, McIntosh, along with Jaden Johnson tip in. I think that is Dual who will get that tip for 2. Hutton from deep. Rim out, rebound Hansen. And Hansen will dribble. No pressure from Crandall here. Back out for Eddy from three-point land. That one's a miss. Littleton fights for the board. Evans back for Hansen. Hansen. He makes a 3. CJ Hansen feeling it here this afternoon. Del Bosco strong take, and that one goes around the world for a little trip before falling through. Cam Evans makes a 3 out of the corner. The FHS product into the three-point barrage for the Tommies. Luca with a long two. Del Bosco. Back-to-back buckets for Crandall. Now Del Bosco looking for the steal on Eddie. Eddie gets the foul. Call on Jaden Johnson. Here comes Ethan Culberson back in. Johnson out. Third on Johnson. Tommy's a fresh 14 here. Travel on Eddie. Couldn't keep that pivot foot planted. Del Bosco, strong take, but Duel is there for the takeaway. Eddie on the run, but it's Hansen with the catch. Hansen tries the acrobatic shot, fouled by Ethan Culberson. Hansen, 3 of 5 from the line today. 10 of 13 from the field. That's pretty darn good shooting, including 4 of 5 from three-point land. Up to 27 points now is Hansen. Looking for number 28. That one short as well. Hansen fights for the rebound, tips it to a teammate. Back for Littleton, outside for Evans. Evans closely guarded, down low for Eddie. 6 to shoot. Eddie's going to have to go to work here. Eddie up off glass, and Eddie's going to be fouled by Luca Del Bosco. Del Bosco says, hey, I'm standing up straight here, ref. This is Riverlands off the bench for the Tommies. Man, not sure why the Tommies didn't get that initial substitution. Eddie with a miss from the line. Eddie's got 8 points today. 6 rebounds, only 1 assist. So Eddie's assist numbers will come down. Been leading the conference at 6.5 per game coming into this one. Lands wasn't in because it was a sub for the shooter, and Eddie will go to the bench with the Tommies way up on the Chargers. 87-49. Culberson a mess, rebound Hutton. Back for McIntosh. Hansen, slap away, and this is going to be called on the shot. Then McIntosh to the line. 16 points, 4.5 board, 2 assists coming in today. 50% free throw shooting coming in. And today, McIntosh, 4 points, first trip to the line. 6 boards, though, for McIntosh, along with an assist. Checking in for the Tommies is number 14, Jeremy Correa. Correa, 6'1" guard out of Mississauga. He can shoot the 3 as well. It's going to be backcourt on Littleton, as he was over and then let toe cross back over the line. Bryson Clark in for Dave Hutton. Hutton wanted to stay out with 6:34 to play. Del Bosco tied up, jump ball, possession, Tommies. Other factor in this one I didn't mention off the top was the Chargers, who knocked the Tommies out
of the ACAA playoffs last season. So you can bet the Tommies that were part of that team were looking forward to this one. Just a little bit. Duel with the reach in. Culberson skies, but leaves it on the front rim. And a rebounding foul on Kopp. Checking in for Luco Del Bosco is number 7, Mattis Pivovarov, a first-year center out of Moncton at 6'7". And I meant to check the pronunciation of that last name before the game. Got so caught up in discussions with the coaches that I forgot to ask about that one. I hope I'm saying that right. Not all. Check that the next time you come to town. I think will be next season. You're only here once this year. Littleton with a miss. McIntosh, nice finish that time. Littleton has it knocked away by Bryson Clark. Now Clark, a little slip there, blew a tire. Lots of players going down. Littleton, strong bounce pass for Duel. Keep the goggles out on that one, Vince Littleton. Good look for Duel. Nice take for Culberson. Culberson with the finish. Helped up by Riverlands. Timeout taken. I think this is timeout Tommies. And Coach Hickey says, I don't care what's on the scoreboard for a score. We're going to keep playing defense the way we want to keep playing defense. A couple times to the bucket, too easy for the Chargers. No chance for bad habits to kick in, is what he's saying.
Look ahead to the schedule. Next weekend, Saturday the 15th, UKC at Crandall. STU at Mount Allison, Holland at UNBSJ. The 16th, Mount Allison at UKC. Tommy's not back home until December 6th against UNBSJ. Circle that. And, well, I've got a moment here. I'll let play go on. I'll just go check the SJ. SJ is up 72-55 right now over Mount A. So if that holds and this holds, and chances are both will, giving the time left there, 2:21 to go on Mount Allison, and the score, and the time left here, and the score. It'll be STU and UNBSJ both at 3-0. Two common opponents, MSVU and UKC. Tommy's all 3 at home. SJ already 2 on the road. So the Tommy's road trip, Saturday the 15th at Mount Allison, Saturday the 22nd at Holland, and Saturday the 29th at UNBSJ. That kicks off 3 in a row against SJ. Just happen to have the Christmas break sandwiched in between games 2 and 3. Correa and Duel can't connect in the backcourt. 3:50 to play. Certainly not the game here this afternoon Crandall was hoping for. And not the close contest that talked with Coach McKillop before the game. Foul on Evans. His first. I think there will be lots of close games in the conference this season. This just happens to not be one of them for the Chargers. Going to happen every once in a while. That's going to be a backcourt. And Duel and Clark with a little discussion there. Still ongoing. Gimby inbounds for Evans. Correa, fancy dribble, nowhere to go. 7 to shoot, Evans on the drive, and Evans fouled. Tommy's pretty deep into the bench here. Duel, Correa, Gimby, DeVries, and Evans. Colby McIntosh comes out. Crandall will drop to 1 and 2. We'll tie them with Mount A and MSVU. And Holland College as well. Early going, still lots to shake out here as the first half and the whole rest of the schedule shakes out. Oh, nice up and under move. Was that Jack Way, number 5, who scored that? DeVries for Duel. Duel beyond the arc, can't get it to go. Quinn DeVries fights for the rebound, and DeVries is fouled in rebounding action. That's going to go on Harper Kopp, first year forward out of Victoria. Shout out if you're watching along from the West Coast. Hope you're doing well. Enjoying your Sunday. Though if you're a Chargers fan, might want to throw a little something extra in your coffee here, help you get through this one. Good to have you along, and privileged to bring you the broadcast here as always. Outside for Clark. He makes the 3 over Duel. DeVries on the drive, has it knocked away. I think that might have been Charles McKenna, number 4, who got a hand on that one, but not entirely sure. Inbounded for DeVries. Gimby handles up high. Needs help, gets it from Correa. 4 to shoot. Looking for Evans. Out of bounds, over to the Chargers. Three missed that time from Kopp. Out of bounds off of, I think, McKenna. Over to the Tommies either way. 91-59, that's 32. Valuable minutes here for both of these benches. Gimby with the nice backdoor cut and delivery from Cam Evans. Good reach in from Evans. Long pass across. Results in a travel for Jack Way. Another STU turnover. So the Tommies, we're going to take care of business 3 in a row at home to start the season. They'll now go on the road for 1, 2, 3, where the cooking is never as good as it is at home. See how they fare. Road be sometimes a great difference in terms of scores home and road. Used to say it could be as much as a 15 or so point swing between home and road. Not sure it's quite the same now, but certainly tougher to win on the road than it is at home. We'll see how the Tommies do. They've held serve here through their first 3 home games. Chargers 1 and 2. 2 of those on the road this weekend. They will get a home game next Saturday versus UKC. Home the 22nd versus SJ. And the 29th versus MSVU. Before going to Holland on December 5th to end their first half. Hard to believe already talking about Tommy's only one more home game this half is the way it goes. Miss there from Coria. Rebound. Final 30 seconds of play. Tommies aren't going to get close to their 111 average in this one. But a margin of victory of about 30. It's 32 right now with 17.2 seconds to go. And the Tommies don't need a shot, just need to get it over half and let the clock dribble out. And it looks like the Chargers are content to let them do that. Chargers make the hour and a half, hour 45-minute trip back down the highway to Moncton. I'll let you check out the stats on this one on your own online. We'll do it here. The Tommies 3-0, as mentioned. 93-61 is your final. Lots of Tommy players played well. Just tough afternoons, shooting-wise, especially for the Chargers, and really tough coming in on the back-to-back, where the home team sitting here waiting for you as well. That'll do it for this one. For everyone here at St. Thomas, the always amazing Alice in the producer's chair. Once again, I'm Bill Gibson. It's been my privilege to bring you the call here from the place they call the Pit. See you the next basketball action in December. Tommy volleyball here next weekend. One women's game on the Saturday afternoon. Go Tommies.ca, all your Tommies info. ACAA.ca, all for all your league stuff. See you, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.